Good morning, campers. Today I am going to be demonstrating how one would blow dry one's hair at home. Believe it or not, I am a licensed hairdresser. However, the techniques I am going to be showing you here are far less technical than what I would do to you in the salon. Purely because it is just a really easy, straightforward technique that's going to give you a relatively cheeky, voluminous blow dry if you so wish. Stay tuned because it's gonna go down. Alrighty, step one. What you need to do is ensure that your hair is freshly washed, shampooed and conditioned. I like to use my Olaplex range because it is helping me repair the hair that I've neglected. But isn't that always the way? Nice, fresh, shampooed, conditioned hair, ready to go. What you want to make sure you're doing is towel drying the hair as much as possible before beginning. The wetter the hair, the longer it's going to take to blow dry. However, if you are a curly gal, slightly damper hair is probably better for you because once your curl or wave starts to set in place and dry naturally, it is going to be harder to rework it into a blow dry. Fact one, prepping the hair. I again am going to use my faithful number 6 by Olaplex. It is the bond smoother. It's incredible. This is a perfect product to use actually when you're blow drying the hair. It can be used on absolutely any hair type, whether you've got really lightweight hair, whether you've got coarse or thick hair. It's your all-rounder, and what it's going to do is just give it added heat protection for your blow dry. Do not use this purely on its own if you're going to be using a load of heat styling. It just needs something a little bit stronger. That's what I like to include my number 7. I'll get to that in a second. Basically what this is going to do is keep it smooth, add your blow dry protection, and actually does minimize blow drying time, which is pretty handy if you're lazy like me. So you don't need a lot, just a little pea size amount. That's literally it. It goes a long way. You can also use this on dry hair. Added frizz elimination. So again, you're rubbing it in your hands. My tan's calmed down a little bit. It was quite fluorescent, but I don't mind that look. I want to feel as much like I'm on holiday at the moment as possible. So the oranger, the better. Mid-lengths and ends, that's where you're focusing your product. If you have particularly frizzy hair, work it up to the root. It's not going to do it any harm, but again, you don't want to add too much product because it can weigh the hair down. This is quite a thick cream, which I love because it can be really worked into the hair. Just massage it through, and again, if you have any particularly damaged bits, pull it through. Can you see what I'm doing? Something about Mary. Lovely, work it in. Second step, I like to use a serum. Again, might have dropped it in earlier. My number 7. Here she is. You dirty girl. This is absolutely delicious. This is a very lightweight oil, which means you can layer it up. It's not going to weigh the hair down or give you that slick Rick look. I again like to put a couple of drops in my hand, warm product up in the hand, up tip, warm it up tip. Warm your product up in your hands because it helps activate the ingredients and also helps with distributing the product evenly throughout the hair. So do this, massage it through. Again, mimic where you put your balm and massage through. Do not do this. Your hair doesn't like it. Smooth, massage, treat it like the lady she is, you know. Scrunch, scrunch. Scrunch, scrunch. The last product I like to use on my hair is a setting spray. This just adds a little bit of volume at my root because it can go a little lipstick. Mousses are fine, volumizing sprays are fine, whatever works for you. This is the Wella Perfect Setting. She's beautiful and it just smells really nice. Something about that hairdresser smell I just really love. Help. So again, you want to be lifting up the hair, creating a split so you can just pop it at the roots. Hairs are a little oily. Again, in it goes at that crown area. Boom, boom, boom. And just give it a little massage in at the root. Lovely, lovely, Alan. And now you're ready for your sectioning. So sectioning is your second most important step in creating your voluminous blow dry, because if you work neater, you'll have more control over where you are working. So what I tend to do is establish where my parting is. I tend to wear mine just off center. Just take a little box section either side. Again, don't be too precious about it. Just kind of make sure you've got your little box. Can you see it? Section it off. Get her out the way. So you. That's it. Oh my god. Little clip. Voila. Okay, so depending on the size of the brush you're going to use determines on the size of the section you're going to need to take. For example, my brush is this fabulous wider vent brush. These are brilliant because they push the heat through the hair, so it just helps dry the hair a little bit quicker. But again, this one has got a lovely padded handle and the nice big barrel. If you have shorter hair, use a smaller brush. It all depends on the final look you want. I'm not going particularly neat and tidy with my blow dry because that ain't me. I like to use this one because I have more control. Again, I haven't done this technique a lot on myself, but generally speaking, it just means that it's easier. And we like easy. We like the easy life. With that in mind, again, no bigger than the size of your brush. So I will go just above the nape of my neck. There we go. So when you're brushing through your hair, either using a tangle teaser or a paddle brush, ensure you're starting at the bottom and then working your way up. Just means that it creates a smoother finish and helps if you have any little tangles in there. Once you are brushed through, take 2 equal sections, split from the back of the head, bring them forward so you've got nice easy sections to work with. Most important thing here in this instance is ensuring that you have brushed the hair through to make sure that you've got that nice smooth action. It doesn't get caught. So the best way to hold your brush is vertically. Vertically means you're going to get more root lift. It means you're going to have more control. Get used to maneuvering that brush around the head. Anchoring it in is key. So what you really want to be doing, and what I always recommend you do, is direct it away from the face. That means that you're going to get that lovely open blow dry feel. It's not going to be sitting over the face, it's going to be sitting away. But again, if you want it over the face, go the other way. I tend to go both directions when I'm doing my hair because again, I like quite a disheveled finish. Those of you that know me know I don't like too coiffed. The more rugged the better. Again, just to open the face, I do recommend you at least do your face framing bits away. First things first, I'm just going to demonstrate with the brush and how I would hold my section before I go ahead and do it. I'm not going to waffle on too much because it is a case of just getting used to a technique that you like and practicing it and practicing it and practicing it until you find something that works for you. But this is just what I would do and it might help. So once you've held your brush in your vertical position, I tend to wrap the hair away. Okay, so put your brush behind that section and you can see I've really anchored that in so the hair doesn't fall out. You want to make sure that it's nice and secure in there because once you start blow drying, it's going to start going all over the place. So you need to really anchor that in. So behind your section and almost like you're like suffocating it. That's your first starting point, and just get used to pulling that away from the root. And the best thing to do to create a bit more bend at the end is to twist your brush. So you can see what I'm doing, I'm just twisting it. Practice this before you go ahead and start blow drying because it just makes your life a bit easier when you come to putting heat through it. At the root, directing it away from the head and pulling and twisting. You can even wrap it back up into the head if you want a little bit more root lift, or you'll find that your hair drops quite quickly. This just helps set it in. A little tip, if the hair is still cool after you've blow dried it, it's still a bit damp. So once you think you've done it, go over it again until that's a nice hot section of hair. Remember, you've got your heat protection in there, you're going to be looked after. Once you've blow dried that section, wrapped it up, hold it in, just give it a couple of seconds, do a little dance, make a little love. We're busy. No. Once you have wrapped that section up, twisting it at the ends, keeping it all tucked in, hold it against the root, vertically still, and just let it set in. A few seconds, stare into space, think about what you're going to have for your 5th snack of the morning, and then you want to be releasing it. But always make sure you tuck the hair under to give you that nice softer finish, and it just smooths out that end as well. Keeping it held in that position whilst it's drying after you've applied your heat just sets it into place a bit stronger. So it just adds a little bit more root lift. You can always, if you want to go and get all fancy, add a roller, roll it back up into the head to secure it in and work around the head. I don't have my rollers with me, so I can't do that. But that also means that you can get a really big bouncy blow dry effect. So that's your first section. Again, away from the face. You can alternate as you're going around the head, but just get used to holding those sections in your brush. Remember, hair in front of the brush at all times, whatever way works for you. Just keep practicing it. As long as you've got your manageable sections, you're keeping the airflow downwards away from the root. Do not go upwards, because that's going to make the cuticle of the hair go crazy. It's going to go frizzy. It's going to just hate life, okay? So keep the airflow away, and then it just comes down to technique. You'll get the hang of it. Hairdryer time. I am using my mum's because I left mine at the salon. However, it's all right. I'm impressed. This one is a Lee Stafford. Cheeky little pink Lee Stafford. Most important about your hairdryer is the nozzle. So the nozzle just helps keep that airflow really smooth and directed in that one direction that you're looking for. You can use it without. I just find it just works better with one. Depends on your hairdryer. But again, make sure that when you're working, you've positioned your nozzle so that the airflow is going flat against that hair. Again, if you twist it that way against it, it's just going to be a little bit less focused. So just manipulate the nozzle so it works for you and the position of your brush. Okay, so I'm just going to demonstrate what's holding the hairdryer and the brush so you can see roughly what I'm going to do. Again, do not be too precious about it. It's something that you've just got to keep practicing. Like I said, I haven't done this a lot, so it could go absolutely tits up. Right, before I start, my hair has dried quite quick. Told you it should dry. So I'm just going to mist a little bit of spray. It's just water, just to dampen it off again. But anything just to dampen that hair down is going to work just fine. Ooh. Demonstration, hair in front, anchored in, ready to go. Better. So you can see the nozzle just sits flat to that hair. You don't want to be pushing the nozzle on it because it's just going to fry your hair. Just keep the airflow nice and close and just go with the flow. So I'm just going to give this a go, and we're going to speed it up so you're not sat here for ages hearing me swear. So cue sassy music. Okay, so she's been blasted. I wrapped it right up towards my root to help it set in better, and once you're getting used to pulling it out with the brush, what I tend to do is just go through and just twist it. There you go. Ooh, bouncy. Okay, so you can already see those products are working away, creating that lovely shine, keeping it nice and smooth. So that's my first section done. Again, once you get a bit quicker, you can keep your hairdryer in and just twist it out with your brush. But because again, this isn't something that I am au fait at doing regularly, I'm just gonna err on the side of caution and just pay a bit more attention to making sure that that section is nice and smooth. Alrighty, let's go. Okay, second section, we are ready to go. That looks a good size to me. If it is too big, just split it in half and do them individually. But this one is still quite a decent size to fit around my brush. So again, I will be moving my arms around a little bit just to maneuver that brush and make sure that I'm getting the airflow in the right direction. Again, I tend to swap my hands over a little bit, so I've got a little bit more control. So sorry if my arms completely blocking my face. You don't need to see that. As long as you can see what I'm doing, you'll start getting used to the process. Here we go. Okay, so you can also run your fingers through your section after you've done it, just to really smooth down those ends. Even twist it with your fingers a little bit, and it just gives it a little bit more of a oof. So as you can see, it's getting there. Okay, so that is your bottom section done. So it just gives it a nice kind of soft wave through there. Again, you can use a smaller brush and really curl it up to the root. That will give you a much stronger kind of curly wave than as opposed to just a little bit of a lived in look. Smooth out your next section. This is your volume at the root. Okay, so it's really hard to do this back to front. So get your first section. How thick's that? It's a bit too thick. Oh, that bit comes forward. So again, now you're working straight up. So you're mimicking the same thing. You're coming up, tucking those ends in, and you're just gonna blow dry it so it's nice and straight up from the root to give you a lot more volume. It's me, don't worry. Don't be scared, children. Again, you are focusing your brush towards the end to ensure your ends are tucked in, and then you're just gonna roll it up and effectively keep that nice and smooth, but again, obviously away from the root for the volume. I don't know about anyone else, but my arms are aching. Oh my God, it's easier on someone else. But it's okay, we're nearly there. Keep the faith. Here we go. Okay, for your front section, I like to go forward because that just gives you that nice kind of softer finish around the face. If you have a lot of hair in this front bit, you can continue working backwards because again, you're going to get that real large Ariana Grande-esque big hair. But if you have slightly shorter bits like mine, it just helps kind of soften and blend around the face. So I'm going to go forward. Last bit, let's go. That's warm. Okay, so let it set in. So again, smooth it out at the end and let it drop. And there you go, you're done. I'm only joking. So find your parting. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's just crazy. That's not done. That's not done. Okay, get some serum. God, look at myself. Oh my god. Get a couple of drops of serum. Jump in your time machine and go back to Neighbours in the 90s. Does anyone remember Lynn? Okay, tip your head up. Up it goes. Start dressing that out a little bit. Hang on. Okay, I might just need to calm your ass down, man. You just put it where you want. There you go. That's better. I think that's what I had in mind. Maybe don't use such a big brush at the front. Remember, I haven't done this very often, but I do like to wear my hair nice and big. So this is actually sassy. If you want a softer face framing, just direction your hairdryer and then bend in with your brush, unless you want to look like a nutter, an absolute nutter. But here we go. There is the finished result. You can see the products have worked wonders. My hair is naturally very, very frizzy, so it's done an incredible job. Again, if you want to tweak it, go over it with your straighteners, but again, make sure you've got your added heat protection. Style it as you want, and yeah, get ready for that living room party. But hopefully you've learnt some techniques. It is all about just practice, 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 practice. But I hope it's helped, and I will look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.